How's it going, everybody? The PlayStation Summer Sale is running from now until July 29th, and there's a ton of absolute bangers on sale for up to 90% off. Every day I put together lists of the top games you can get at a deep discount, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Alright, with that out of the way, that's enough yapping from me, so let's get straight into it. For $30, 50% off, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 unifies the start of the series, bundling the original Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid with its VR missions, and remastered versions of Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Infiltrate fortresses with stealth and experience the series' cinematic story, with each title including a digital screenplay book and master book. It's a 93 average on game rankings, average trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 120 hours to finish all 3 games. For $28, 30% off, Marathon is a dark sci-fi extraction shooter set on the derelict colony of Tau Ceti 4, where you infiltrate hostile zones alone or with a crew to scavenge loot and battle rival runners and UESC security forces. 6 configurable runner shells, moddable weapons, and faction contracts offer deep build variety, while solo lobbies, Rook mode, and the raid-like Cryo Archive endgame add layers of replayability. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $18, 70% off, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance is a dark RPG where you play Nahobino in post-apocalyptic Tokyo, wielding immense power to survive and shape the ongoing conflict between angels and demons. You'll experience 2 complete story paths while exploring sprawling wastelands, battling or befriending hundreds of demons, uncovering hidden secrets, and making impactful choices that determine the world's ultimate fate. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 150 hours to platinum. For $15, 40% off, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound fuses the classic side-scrolling lore of the original Ninja Gaiden series with the depth and intensity of modern 3D entries, creating an epic, thrilling adventure. Journey with Kenji Mozu as he rises to defend Hayabusa Village when the barrier between the human and demon world shatters during Ryu Hayabusa's absence, combining old-school pick-up-and-play action with modern precision. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $30, 25% off, Elden Ring Nightreign is a standalone action RPG set within the Elden Ring universe, reimagining its core design around a darker, more cooperative experience against an ever-changing knight. You'll choose from uniquely skilled heroes with distinct abilities and playstyles, and team up in 3-player co-op where strengths combine into powerful synergies as you explore shifting landscapes shaped by a relentless environmental threat. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $15, 50% off, The Midnight Walk is a dark fantasy adventure built entirely in clay, following the Burnt One and their companion Potboy as they traverse a haunting world of light and shadow. Together, you'll explore 5 interwoven tales filled with monsters that crave Potboy's flame, eerie forests, forgotten ruins, and strange beings who blur the line between friend and foe, all presented through emotional storytelling and immersive stop-motion animation. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $35, 50% off, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a 3D fighting spectacle that brings the Budokai Tenkaichi series to new heights, letting you control over 180 characters from Dragon Ball Z, Super, GT, and select movies, each with signature abilities and transformations. Engage in fast-paced battles with beam clashes, rush attacks, and ultimate moves faithful to the anime, while testing your skills in online multiplayer or replaying iconic story moments. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $36, 40% off, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora Complete Edition bundles the main game, Season Pass, and From the Ashes expansion, following a Na'vi abducted by the RDA who, freed 15 years later, reconnects with their heritage across the western frontier. Customize your character, craft gear, bond with a Banshee for aerial combat, and play solo or in co-op, while the expansion follows warrior Solek seeking revenge against the ruthless Ash clan. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $16, 60% off, The Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition is the definitive way to play this RPG, including the base game and all DLC, exploring planets and settlements across Halcyon while shaping your character, story, and companions' fates. Engage in strategic combat against factions, rival corporations, and alien threats, enjoy enhanced graphics and new animations, and take advantage of a raised level cap for more ways to build your hero. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 45 hours to platinum. For $14, 30% off. The 7th Guest Remake brings the iconic mystery adventure back to life. Following 6 guests welcome to a mansion where toymaker Henry Stolf lurks in the shadows and a dark power hangs over the house. Explore dynamic, shifting environments through cinematic, volumetric video with live-action performances, solve handcrafted puzzles woven into the mansion's lore, and uncover hidden secrets as the house's horrors slowly close in around you. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $21, 70% off. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is a third-person shooter hack-and-slash that lets you embody the superhuman and brutal might of a Space Marine, battling the galaxy's horrors with devastating weaponry and relentless tactics. Crush Tyranid swarms, defend humanity across epic solo missions, and coordinate with allies in intense 3-player co-op campaigns and PvE challenges, unlocking new skills, gear, and cosmetics. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $40, 60% off. The Kingdom Come Deliverance Saga bundle includes both historical RPGs, royal editions, and post-launch content, following Henry of Skalitz on a tale of revenge as he rises from blacksmith to the Court of Kings. Engage in first-person combat on foot, horseback, or through stealth, specializing in sword mastery, blunt weapons, or ranged attacks, and explore a medieval Europe that remembers every choice you make. It's an 81 average on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 230 hours to finish both games. For $30, 25% off. Lumines Arise is an addictive reinvention of the puzzle classic where every block pulses with music, triggering dazzling visuals synced to an eclectic soundtrack across over 35 stages spanning lush jungles, buzzing Tokyo streets, and surreal outer space environments. Match blocks and craft insane combos with the all-new burst mechanic, customize your Lumi avatar, and explore single-player modes and online multiplayer to test your skill. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $40, 43% off. Code Vein 2 is an action RPG in a world where revenants have become mindless horrors, sending you back through time with Lou, who can manipulate time, to prevent the world's collapse and alter key characters' fates. Drain and acquire blood from enemies to unleash a variety of skills, really customize weapons and builds to suit your battle style, and explore alongside powerful partner characters with unique abilities and deep connections. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $20, 20% off. Deltarune is the long-awaited parallel story to Undertale, inviting you into a mysterious dark world where your choices matter, whether you fight or spare your enemies, alongside new and familiar characters. Battle through action-packed, bullet hell-inspired encounters across surreal locations with sharply written moments blending humor, tension, and emotional weight, with chapters 1 through 4 included and future chapters planned as free updates. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $29, 58% off. God of War Ragnarok follows Kratos and Atreus on a mythic journey across the 9 realms as they seek answers and prepare for the cataclysmic events of Ragnarok, risking everything to protect each other and confront looming threat. You'll explore stunning mythological landscapes while facing fearsome enemies ranging from wild beasts to vengeful Norse gods, mastering deadly combat with Kratos' Leviathan axe. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $14, 65% off. Spyro Reignited Trilogy brings the classic platforming adventures of the iconic Purple Dragon back with gorgeous HD visuals, re-recorded voice lines, and modernized controls throughout all 3 games. Across 3 fully remastered games, Spyro the Dragon, Ripto's Rage, and Year of the Dragon, you'll glide through vibrant worlds, rescue dragons, and take down mischievous villains in colorful fashion. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to get all 3 platinums. For $10, 34% off. HallA Cyberpunk Bartender Action is a stylish narrative-driven bartending sim set in a neon-soaked, rain-drenched dystopian city ruled by corporations, nanomachines, and corrupt enforcers. As Jill, a bartender at the small yet iconic Valhalla, you'll mix drinks for a cast of unforgettable characters, each with complex lives and intertwining stories that shift and unfold based on what you serve them rather than what you say. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $36, 40% off. Cronos The New Dawn is a survival action game set in a grim world where Eastern European brutalism meets retro-futurist technology, where you play as a traveler using time rifts to journey between a ravaged wasteland and 1980s Poland. Extract the essences of key people from the past using your harvester, bringing them into the future as companions, while battling nightmarish abominations that demand tactical thinking and resource management. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $17, 65% off, Sonic X Shadow Generations is a high-speed platforming collection combining a new Shadow the Hedgehog campaign with a remastered Sonic Generations, celebrating the franchise's past and present. Shadow's story introduces Doom powers like Chaos Control, enhanced combat, and hub exploration as you race through reimagined stages from his past to stop Black Doom, uncover secrets, and unlock abilities. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Trials of Mana is a fully remade action RPG that retells a classic fantasy tale where the world teeters on the brink as the mana tree begins to wither and ancient evils threaten total destruction. Choose your party from unique characters, each with their own story paths, abilities, class evolutions, and personal motivations, then dive into fast-paced, real-time combat and a branching narrative shaped by your team composition and choices. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $16, 60% off, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition combines the base game along with all official add-ons, including Far Harbor, Automatron, and Nuka World, offering a complete post-apocalyptic experience. Set as the sole survivor of Vault 111, you decide the fate of the wasteland, choosing whether to join rival factions or go it alone, while shaping your character's story through the special system and hundreds of perks. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $12, 50% off, Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector is an RPG where you play as a sleeper, an emulated human mind in an artificial body, on the run from both the corporation that created you and the gang that wants to control you. Commandeer a ship, recruit a diverse crew, and take on dangerous contracts across treacherous sectors as you chart your path through the Starward Belt, balancing survival with the pursuit of a future worth fighting for. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $21, 70% off, Atomic Heart is a first-person action adventure set in an alternate Soviet utopia where humans once lived alongside loyal robots until a tragic accident unleashes mutant creatures, superpowered machines, and rebelling robots. Using your experimental power glove, blades, and cutting-edge weaponry, you'll fight frenetic, high-stakes battles, combine skills with environmental advantages, and upgrade your arsenal to survive. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $13, 85% off, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands Chaotic Great Edition is a chaotic fantasy adventure where bullets, magic, and broadswords collide in a whimsical, unpredictable world. Roll a multi-class hero and blast, slash, and cast your way through epic dungeons, outlandish monsters, and colossal bosses, while exploring a vibrant overworld full of bustling cities, mysterious forests, and hidden secrets waiting to be discovered. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. Alright, that's it for today's list, everybody. If you've played any of these already, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help others find great games too, it's not just mine. As always, I want to thank all my channel members for their generous support, but to all you out there who watch, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff as well, thank you. You're the reason I'm still having fun making all these videos every day, and I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you out there. If you can spare $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos, and it helps me out more than you know. But I know times are tough out there, so all I do ask is, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with any new sale stuff that I put out, leave a like, and comment down below if you've got any of these platinums or plan on going for any of them.